Well, welcome again to Reaching the Next Generation. I'm Jerome Jones, and today we're doing a sampling of what our missions work is about. And we wanted to take a little time here today to give you a preview to some of the things that is taking place that we want to allow you to look inside and see some of the things that we have done in the past and what we're doing and the forecast for our future in missions, what we are doing inside of missions today, because many of the saints of God may not be aware of what the mandate of Scripture is. Let me just get this here right before I get too deep in this. And we're here today in an informal way because we actually want to allow time here a little bit for some others that might be able to join us on the set. We're using a new format and platform that we're going to get used to. And so I'm doing a much shorter version just to see some of our people that we want to also help. And we see that we have some coming on right now. Evangelist, Pastor, I'll let you know when we're going to come on. In fact, we're just going to see if we can bring you on now. Hopefully we can do this. You're going to have to help. Let's see, it says add to stage, and I did. Let's see, I'm trying to see why I'm not seeing you as I need to see you.
Or you need to see
Evans,
me.
do you have your camera on?
Maybe I can put on my light.
Yeah, you need your light because no one can see.
Okay, let me go to.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back out and get some light so that we'll be able to see, because I certainly need more than just your audio at this time, and we will bring you back when you show up in my holding room, and there'll be some lighting there. That's the purpose of our video, is to be both audio and video. Make sure that your lighting is sufficient. I see it now. Make sure that the noise around you is good. Seaford, devices not connected. Seaford, add to stage. Okay, let's see if we're going to be able to do that. I see you twice in my section here. Okay, I see Seaford coming. And let me know when you can hear me, Seaford. And I'm looking for Dahmer also. Dahmer is another person that we're going to be sharing with. And we're just simply testing this here setup. I see Seaford here, but I don't see any lighting. I don't see any lighting. So it's either a bad connection where we are, or we're just not seeing it, because I've got these three names here. Guys, you need to have your lighting there.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
I'm saying I can't hear you.
Are you saying you hear me or you can't hear me? Type it in the chat so that I can know if you have to, because I'm not making out what you're saying. Okay,
I
see.
can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay, well, just hold up until I ask.
Is
When
it
I
network?
need you, I will let you know when I need you to work to come on. I'm trying to get some of the others on right now. And so what I can
I
do is
can't hear.
can you hear me? Nod if you can
I
hear
can
me.
hear you, but that sound is not good. I can't hear what you are talking.
Well, it's got to be on your end because my end is working. I can hear you clearly. So look at what you have set up.
No.
Uh,
The network is not good. Network
okay.
strength is not good.
Okay. Well, just hold up. Don't let me talk with you. Just stay there. Okay. Just hold up, and we will go from there. I'm waiting to get Seaford on. I see you're trying to come on. Seaford is out of Zimbabwe, Africa, and you're out of Kenya. And I'm looking
No,
for
no, no, no,
Dharma.
no, no, no. The sounds is like a guitar, like somebody is playing a guitar. That's the sound I can hear.
Okay, listen, I can't do anything about that part right now. You have to. There's nothing playing around here but me talking, and so we can't do anything about that. That
Can
has
I
to be.
even join?
I'm gonna mute you because I don't want to have that sound coming. So I've got you muted, and I need you to listen to me for a moment. When we're doing a live recording or we're doing a program, you don't want to uh, be talking until a question is asked, because when you do that, you're interrupting what is being uh, spoken. So if you can't hear, type that into the comment section. See, type it in the comment section saying I can't hear, or that way I can read it, and we'll know. Okay. So let's there is nothing that I'm doing on this end. I've just unmuted you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay, whenever, just allow me to do the
No. Now again, I can't hear your voice very good.
okay, well, listen,
Yeah,
Pastor.
yeah, yeah. Now I can
Listen,
now I
listen,
can hear
listen,
you very
listen,
good.
listen, listen. Whenever we're doing live, one person has to speak at a time. So I want you to let me ask the question or let me say something. If you can't hear me, then you need to type it into the thing. Don't just start talking, because other people are going to be have to hear. And if you talk over me, then they won't hear. If I talk over you, they won't hear. So whenever there's a problem, don't worry about trying to talk about it. Put it in the comment section, like post a comment, I can't hear. And that way I'll see it and I'll read it. And that way I'll be able to correct it. Okay. So anytime there is a area where you cannot hear, because if you just start talking, no one is going to hear. Okay. Right now, I'm trying to. There's a pastor. There's a minister in Zimbabwe, and I'm trying to bring him on, and he is Seaford, and I see you trying to get on Seaford, but again, the connection is bad in some of these places, and whenever the connection is bad, you have a problem sometime because you don't have enough high speed internet to connect to the broadcast, so that's going to be a problem from time to time. You're going to have that problem. Okay, somebody is singing. Who's singing? I didn't know this was a choir. I didn't know we had a I didn't know we had a I didn't know we had a oh my Lord. Well, Seaford, you made it in. Oh my Lord. Somebody's singing. What's the name of the song? What's the name of the song they're singing?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
doing good.
sir.
Yeah, okay, good. Listen, what I want us to do is I wanted to test the system, and we're going to have to do a test, but we're actually doing a live program. We're just doing live just for a small test. So this is why we want to make sure that you guys are able to sign in. We need to make sure that you have good lighting so that it can be seen. And I want to share about what we're going to be doing in the future. But this is just a testing of the software. So for those of you that are listening to us or watching us, we're just doing a testing of the software to make sure that we can hear, make sure that we can see, and make sure that the platform works. I'm waiting for one more person out of Kenya, Damar, and it has a lot of problems, but trying hard. Okay, I've just got a message from her. Tell us where you're from. I'm gonna. Do you know how to? Each one of you are able to mute your mics, so that we have one person at a time speaking. So I want you to tell us where you're from, Seaford. Tell us where you're from and tell us what you're doing. And so I think because I need to hear your audio. So let us know where you're from. I see Seaford, tell us where you're from so I can get your audio. And I'm not hearing anything from you. So that lets me know. Well, you're not muted. You're not muted.
Yeah, I unmute it already.
Say that again.
Hello, everyone.
Say that again. Okay. You're from what nation?
Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. Okay. And what do you do there? Just tell us something about what you're doing. Just for about 1 minute so that we can get a good traction on the sound. Okay, well, we will have to do another setup and another test run because these are the things that we have to get worked out. We wanted to talk about the missions. Okay, just for a moment, Pastor Evans, talk to us about where you're from and tell us what the mission you have there, the ministry there. Pastor Evans, can you hear me? Well, look like we're having audio problems, and that's basically because of the internet connectivity in the areas, because we're constantly going in and out with the different ones. Okay, Pastor Evans, can you tell us where you're from and tell us what the mission that you have there where you are? Talk to us about that. Go ahead.
Yes, greetings to you all. I'm Pastor Evans Makia from Kenya, Africa, in Kisii town. So I'm a pastor. I'm pastoring in a local church here in Kenya. My name of the church is Nyamyobo Fellowship Church of Christ. I'm also having orphans in my home. I have an orphanage. So I'm a pastor as well. I'm a father to many kids.
Okay. So
Yeah, is that all?
You have an orphanage in your home?
Yes.
How did you start doing that?
But
how did you start having an orphanage in your home?
Yeah, actually, since my village here, people are not good, financially. So the kids, actually, since around 2007, we had a election violence here in Kenya. So many kids left without parents, and many kids actually were very much disparate. That's why I decided to go in my village, pick some kids there. Then I go to my near town here. We have a street. Then I pick some street kids from there. I brought them to my home. So I where I can. So that's why I'm taking care of them. And also my church has been of a big supporting to my kids. And also I can say Bishop Jones have been of big blessings to my ministry in Kenya. Yeah.
Well, how did you how did we end up meeting? Just talk about that. Hello. So I think don't mute your mic, Evans. Let me just unmute you. No, you have to unmute yourself, but unmute your mic and come back. And I want to ask you a couple of questions. And so we're talking with various ones, and I know that we've gotten off to a rocky start, and we're just going to cheat it, and we're going to go back and we're going to edit some of this footage out of here and cut it. But I want you to see that we have mission works that is going on in different parts of the world, and there are people that actually need our help. Pastor Evans is running an orphanage in his area, and he's a pastor of a church. And we're going to try to get him back on the set here. They're having an internet problem because the connectivity is weak in various places. But I believe we have Pastor Evans back. And Pastor, you know, how do you get monies to take care of the orphan children and to take care of your family and the church? How do you get monies for
Hello.
that? I'm listening. I've got you.
Yes.
So
So you're asking how do I get money to raise or okay to take care of the kids? Is that?
yeah, I can hear you. Just talk to us about how you get support for the mission and ministry.
Yeah, actually, since me, I'm able to do some work, some physical work, like
So Pastor said he's able to do some physical work. And guys, I want you to know that the physical work they're talking about is working for 12-hour shifts, and they get paid around about $5 if they get paid $5. $5 is going to be a lot. And so this is the way that they have to go out and work. Many times they're not getting $5 because sometimes they have to substitute that for just the food that they need to feed the families. So it is not the same as someone going to work here in the United States. It is much, much different. And this is why we are asking you to help so that we can assist them in the basic needs. You don't see this here. We're going to do a lot of things different. We're just doing this as an impromptu. There's been no rehearsal, no planning, no anything. We're just doing this because you're going to see how this goes as the time goes on. There are many people here in America and other places would think not to even attempt to do this. But I want you to actually get a chance to see what it's like to try to preach the gospel into these nations where they don't even have the ability to connect and stay connected online. I want you to see what we have to contend with when we do this. But they are diligently seeking and trying to be available to hear the gospel, to get whatever support that they can get. But they go through a lot to do it. And you have to have your patience on when you are trying to do this, because you're not going to be like coming in, standing up, doing it, going back home, taking it easy. No, you're going to have many roadblocks, like in Kenya and the other nations that we're in. A lot of them, like right now, they don't have proper lighting where I could turn in here and I could just press a button here and look at the lighting that I got. But look at the screen of the lighting that they have. See, it's a night. It's not the same, nowhere near. It's a struggle for them to have the lighting. It's a struggle for them to have internet. It's a struggle for them for us to try to take the time to sit here and to share with them through all of the hardship. Now, Seaford is all the way out in Zimbabwe, and he has been going in and out, same as Evans out in Kenya. because their internet is just not strong enough. Their connectivity is not strong enough. I have Dharma over here. Okay, you're right. Let me answer her. You are right. So Dharma is over here, but she's in the wrong spot, but she's watching it because she's telling me that she's looking at Evans and she's looking at myself and she's looking at us online. But Dharma is in Kenya as well. And she's a young lady that is trying to take care of the family, trying to go to school, trying to, have been hit with some extreme hardship. And parents have died. These are the cases with orphan children. These are the cases with moms and dads, grandfathers, all the way through, and it's a press for them just to get food. Now, in the coming days, we're going to have presentations and broadcasts that's going to show you the missions in Liberia. That's going to show you the people. That's what we want you to see. And we're not trying to make it look pretty. We do want you to be able to see it, because it doesn't do it. We hate the idea that we can't see it. So we're going to ask those to try to do the best they can to get in a well-lit place. And we're going to try to do it during the daylight hours when we can use the light of the day. And it doesn't be night, because it's not a pleasant sight for us to be doing video that no one can see. So we understand that. I already know those things. I don't really need anybody to tell me that. But I am doing what I'm doing because I want all of us that have this kind of lighting. See, I could turn my lighting down. I can turn it back up. I can turn this one off, that one off, that one off. I can turn them all on, And I want you to see, those of you that are here in America, that we can do something to help Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has a young man that I met. I met him in a business transaction. And from that day on, now this has been months ago, we kept communicating, and we are working inside of ministry discipleship. We're working inside of working the ministry, working to get people fulfilling the purpose of God in their lives. We're not just about giving somebody monies. We're not just about trying to make you have all the natural things. I set a precedent here that those people, that pastors and alike, that if they don't attend the discipleship training, we're not helping them. We're not going to try to expense things out there. We're here to say, look, our first priority is to make sure that we are reaching you with the word of God. And as a result of that, we want to look at what we can do to help you in other areas in your natural life. And so that means if we can help you with food, if we can help you with any kind of assistance, then we're that's what we do. And so right now, that's what we're doing with this mission here. That's what we're doing with the other missions that we got around the world. And sometimes we don't have enough. Sometimes we run out of money. We just simply run out of money. We just don't have it. Some of you guys would be shocked, because you'll look at this screen and you'll think they got to have everything. But there are some days that we have to wait till the last hour before we can get food to eat. So don't kid yourself in thinking that we just have a pot of money sitting on the, somewhere. That's not the case. But God is good, and God, he is the one that provides. And so I'm going to be spending the time throughout this month the rest of the month, really highlighting the missions that we are currently helping throughout nearly a dozen nations. And some of that is involving orphanages, some of it is whole ministries, some of it is whole families, some of it is putting young men and women into school to get a trade so that they can take care of themselves. Some of them is providing clean water where people are drinking disease infested water. We've got another guy in Nigeria that we're going to be working to help. And I'm going to ask our the Seaford to be helpful in that area of contacting the minister in Nigeria. And you will know the young man, the minister that we are talking about. But our goal is to make sure that you know what the purpose of God is in your life, and that you fulfill that purpose. That's our goal. You know, we're not just doing something. I mean, I'm thousands of miles away, but and sometimes it's, you know, it's night there and it's day here and all the schedules get turned upside down. But our goal is to make sure that you know what God's purpose is in your life, and that you are walking in a way to fulfill that. And so, so Pastor Evans, tell us how do you perceive, you know, what have been some of the challenges for you in the ministry, and how have some of those challenges, been assisted through our ministry here? And what I've asked is, what are some of the challenges that you have? Okay, I need to know whether or not you're hearing, because you got to unmute your mic. Unmute your mic so that you'll be able to hear. So that I'll be able to hear you. Okay, I'm gonna see what happens here. No, it didn't unmute it. And it's telling me that I can't unmute it on this end. So you would have to unmute your mic. And right now something has happened that it has dropped. So Seaford, let me come to you out of Zimbabwe. What are some of the challenges you have there?
All right. The issue here that is here in Zimbabwe, especially at our ministry, there is no school of ministry where we can attend for discipleship. We do not have such people who teach us to find our purpose. And as well as some of the challenges that are there is that no pastors here, usually they don't work. So what they do, they're expecting their salary from the church. As a result, that the church will only focusing on the pastor. Church has no time to go and even help those that are in need. So that's what is happening here. That's our challenge.
Okay. So what you said is that there's just no discipleship, no place where you can go and get discipleship and get training for ministry. Okay. Then why do you think that is? Is because there's certainly a lot of pastors there in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, a lot of them they are here. They don't go to work. So what they do when they gather people, uh, they collect money from them so that it will be used for their. It's like more pastors here. What they do, they rent houses. So it is the responsibility of the church, for the church to pay their rentals, to pay for the school fees of their children, and all their things that they need for life is being done through the church.
Mhm.
A lot of church, except only for mainline church that is of like a Roman Catholic, Anglican, those ones. But the church that usually originated here, they will do that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there seems to be then a real hunger that people have for uh, some training and for some teachings where they can go and actually learn about the learn of God and learn how to to do what they need to do or what they feel that they are being called to do uh, in ministry. How long have you lived there?
Almost all my life is it's like I'm turning 23 years this year, so it's almost like 22 years I've been here.
Okay. And what do you do to make a living?
Uh, right now I was actually working at another company. Then my contract was terminated, and then from there I don't have a job. So what I'll just do, I'll only go for where they're looking for peace jobs that I can do sometimes, and other times I do something online. Then I come back. That's how I'm living here. And also, we are age on something like my father is late, so sometimes he was on a pension scheme, so that's how we can live here.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have some more to share about issues just like that. Uh, there are a lot of people that are dealing with situations like that, and we want to be able to help that. And part of what we do here is to try to bring people forward into a better uh, better way of life. And so
Okay.
we're hoping that first of all that God will establish a church there that will be teaching, that will minister the gospel, that you can get trained. And I've always thought on this wise, if I'm ever in a place that don't have that, then I'm going to ask God about becoming that, you know.
Okay.
And one of the things I want to say to you all is that wherever you are, you can allow God to use you
All right.
to establish the very thing that you see that is not there already. Because God can use you as his vessel to establish a work there in Zimbabwe that will please him, that will glorify him. So I want you to be thinking. I sent you a message the other day, and the reason I ask you, what is God's purpose for your life? What is God now given for you? What is, because God has a purpose already. God is not trying to figure out what his purpose is. God already
Okay.
knows. And he doesn't say, well, my God, I got to wait till Seaford get to be 40 years old before I'm going to show him what his purpose is. No, he wants you to know your purpose now. And that's what these discipleship classes is going to do for you. That's the aim, and to get you where you can actually fulfill the purpose of God. Because all of life, I don't care where you are, you can be in Zimbabwe, you can be in America, you can be in Kenya, you can be in Nigeria, you can be in Europe, Rome, wherever you are. All of life that is going to be pleasing has to be in God. Your fulfillment has to come in pleasing God. Your joy has to come from pleasing God. That's your joy. Your everything about your life has to be centered around God. And so that's why I come into these classes. That's why we're doing what we're doing. You know, we have a help ministry where we are helping these missions and families and individuals, but our chief obligation is to help you spiritually. That's our chief obligation. And that is to minister the word of God and to train and to develop you to be to a place where you can just serve God and please Him. So we're going to be doing more of this. I don't want to belong it now. I want to say to both of you all and to Dahmer, who is listening to us by the online feed, I want to say to you all, start preparing. You see how your lighting is now?
Okay.
I want each one of y'all to improve your lighting, because that is very important. There's two things that I want to make sure you work on. You want to work on your lighting, and you want to work on making sure you got audio. And by audio, I simply mean making sure it's quiet around you.
Okay.
Because if you're talking to me and there are noises going on all around you, I'm not going to be able to hear you, and the audience can't hear you either. You know.
All right.
And so this is why we wanted to do this impromptu. I know nobody's got prep for it. I didn't prep anybody for it. I just said, come online and let's go. And I know my audience is probably saying Bishop Jones done went crazy. They probably say he crazy for doing it. But let the audience say what they want to say. I'm going to train the way it's supposed to be, the way I know. And the point that I want them to see, though, is that there are challenges. There are real challenges in your country. And I want America to see that. I want the saints of God to see that. And I also want them to see the people that we are working with. I want them to see some of the faces of the missions that we keep talking about. And I'm asking the body of Christ to help support it. Evans, you're out of Kenya. And see, again, you got a great work going on there. And Dahmer here has just sent me our video. So she's watching us on video too. And she's out of Kenya. And all of these are 3 separate locations, but we got over 15 locations with whole pastors and whole churches and people that got 35 to 140 people as an orphanage. In one orphanage that we're trying to buy food for. And so we're saying to those of you that are listening and those of you that's going to watch clips of this, we're saying to you, take the moment and support this work. Take a moment and give something. You know, the Bible tells us that if we, that we're to remember those that are in need. And that's what we want to do, not just in the natural stuff, but in spiritual things. We want to remember to take the gospel where people may not come. And we hope that we'll be able to get better when we do these broadcasts and get time where we can have a two-way conversation, and we can just get better and better so that the world will see, first of all, the Christian world will see that what we tell them that we're doing that is what we're doing. There are a lot of people out here
Okay.
that said that they're helping people and they're not helping anybody. You know, I don't have to try to make people believe that from just my words. That's why I have people that I got two groups in Uganda. They can just come on and talk for themselves. People in Pakistan can come on and talk for themselves. People in India can come on and talk for themselves. So we want to make sure that the public know that if I say that I'm helping a group,
So,
that I can prove that I'm helping that group. See, and I don't have to prove it just by what I say. I can prove it by bringing them on and let them tell their own story. You know, and that's what we want to, because integrity is very important. Now I get people both ways, and I'm not cutting corners here. I get people from Kenya, I get people from India, I get people from Nigeria that are nothing but con artists, nothing but scams. You know, and I've got tons of them, and so I'm well familiar with people that just do that. And when I say scams, I mean I'm talking about people that tell you that they need help and they don't need help. I'm talking about people that goes out and show you pictures of people that they're helping, but they're not helping. That's not what we are. I have found, and I'm going to tell you this here. I have found that that young minister that just the internet just was lost him, but I'm hoping that he gets back to us again, because he's out of Zimbabwe. And I can tell you that this is a young man that really, really have a heart to help people. And if I didn't think that, I certainly wouldn't be here. And so I tell people in America and those in my area that you have to kind of check and know and be very deliberate to know that there are genuine needs, you know, that are not these false presentations, but that there are genuine needs. And then you also have to know that those people that are proclaiming to meet those needs, you have to know that they're for real and that they are genuine as well. So now if Seaford, if you're on, I need you to come try to log back in one more time before we all sign off. I can tell you that you know, we're going to be continuing to do that. This last 2 weeks alone, we have helped whole families go to school. We have gotten children in their schooling and paid their fees for the year. This has happened this last 2 weeks. We have gotten the little ones in some small children into their schooling, and we paid their schooling as well. We have been able to establish help for a mother that has HIV, not due to her doing, but due to some very tragic scene, and got 4 children and no husband, and is doing slave labor. But we've been able to help that family with food to eat and assist them with finances in a way that will sustain them for 3 months. So we know what we're here to do by the grace of God. And when you that are listening and watching and you hear this, when you help this work, then you are putting your gifts to work where there's real needs. Um, I can remember Pastor Evans. I remember us having a conversation, and there were situations where you was in need of food for your uh, group there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, actually, it's a big challenge here, as I can say, to get food since I don't have a job to do. So it's very hard. Actually, last week we were in need of food. Seriously, kids were 2 days minus food. So I tried to reach all my friends to try to get some support from them, but none who responded to me. Actually, I tried to talk to my bishop here, Bishop Jonas. Is the one who helped me to get some food for the kids, and I really thank him for the beautiful work he's doing for the Lord. Yeah, it's very hard actually to get food here since I don't have a job. I lost my job. Now this is the 6th month ago, 6 months ago since I lost my job. So I don't have a job. Also, members in my church, they don't have money to give to these kids. They are just like me. So others don't have work, and those who have works, they actually not helping poor people here in my country. So kids, all I can say is remember us in your prayers, you people who are watching here. God to protect us, also to give all our needs in our ministries in Kenya, also in other countries like Zimbabwe, Nigeria, India, Pakistan, and other countries. Which countries who are those kids who are in needy also have some support for them. Yeah, and also you
Amen.
can see like now, and also you can see like now I'm using a torch.
Yes.
No, it's very hard. The network is not good. So like my light is getting off. When I put it far from me, you can't see me. So also pray for us. You can see our ministries are very poor. Yeah.
Amen. Well, Pastor, I'm glad that we are able to do whatever we can do to help. Glad that you have a commitment there to help others, and glad to see the work that God is doing through you to help those orphan kids, as well as to pastor the church. And I have one other question for you. When you go, you were telling me about something that I heard in other places as well. When you go to work, you were working like 12 hours on a for that day. What do they pay you to put in like a 12-hour shift? What I'm asking is how much money do you make if you work a day? And his internet might have frozen up there. That's what it looks like. But he was sharing with me as the same stories that I hear all throughout different nations that they could work a whole day from, I'm talking about 12 hours a day and just make $2 or $3, $4 or $5 maximum. And I mean, you just think about that. And then they have to get food for themselves and the family. So there's just the poverty level is so low. See, the poverty level is so low. So, guys, I know this has been a tore up video. I know that. You don't have to tell me that. And I know that this has been one that you would probably say, oh, it's just tough to look at. I know that. But it's nowhere near the adversity that they are enduring that we're here trying to help. It's nowhere near. And sometimes, bless the name of the Lord, sometimes to get the picture of how bad it is, we have to just show it. We have to just say, this is it. Now, I can't show you how bad it is all the way, because some of the pictures that I get, that is just heart wrenching. I received just from one of the other missions in India, and I'm going to have them on maybe even this afternoon to do something, because they would be a little bit more capable of bringing it forth than this group here. But I've got a ministry that we are supporting, and they are in India. We got two there. And the thing about what I witnessed there, they go miles on foot, climbing mountains to get the gospel, to get Bibles, to get assistance to people that would otherwise seemingly have been totally forgotten. And while they were on the journey, ministering, praying for people, giving Bibles, they come across this father that lost his child on the roadside. Two of them just completely gone, because they just didn't have any resources. I've got video, I got pictures, photos that were sent to me from missions that we have out of Kenya, where young man hung himself because he was suffering from starvation, and he thought that was the best way out. I've got issues where mothers that are grandmothers, are working in slave labor just to get a plate of food at the end of the day. So when I talk about helping the poor and needy, I'm not talking about someone that just, that is just borderline, but we try to minister to those needs that are at the farthest extreme. It's like going into a hospital emergency room, and you got 100 patients, but you've got to find the one that is closest to being lost, and that's the one you want to treat first. You cannot treat them all. We can't be the sufficiency for everybody, but we can do what we can do to help somebody. And that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to let this 2024 be a year that you stand with the poor, that you stand with them. And by standing with them, share some of your substance with them. I know we're going to pray for them. I know that we can look at their situations and sympathize with it. But let's go beyond that, and let's share a portion of what we have with them. I like to sum this up and say it this way. I don't think there's one of us that, if we identified them as being Christ, would refuse to share a portion of what we have with him, because we would understand that, after all, he is the reason that we have what we have. I hope you'll help us. I hope you'll give us a gift today so we can send aid. I have a young family, not a young family, but I have a family here, orphan children. Both parents died. And they're on this broadcast right now. And one of the things that they said, remember the story of the widow woman that was in Zarephath? This widow woman was down there, and God told Elijah to go down there. And Elijah went, and this widow woman was out there in the yard gathering sticks so that she can cook that last little meal that she had for her and her son to eat and then die. Now, the point that I want to stress in this, in relationship to this young girl that's on here, is that this widow woman, the scripture tells us that she was committed to eating her last meal with her son and then just dying. She had already committed to that. And that's interesting because she didn't just have to die. That woman could have went out into the streets and done what the other women was doing. She could have went out there and prostituted her body and got food to eat for her and her child. Because that's what they were doing all through the city. But this woman had decided, I'm not going to do that to get food to eat. I'm not even going to do that to get food for my son, because that is against my God. That's the commitment that she had. And this family that we're seeking to help right now, said to me, I won't do anything wrong like that, like the others are doing, to get any money for anything. I want to tell you, when I heard her sharing, and she didn't know that I was following it up, I determined that there is something that we can do, because here is another devoted child of God. I asked her, I said, how long you been saved? How long you been a Christian? She said 3 years and 4 months. That tells me she marked that day down. She understands that was the day of the new life. So I want you to stand with us. We would love to be a blessing. We want to be a blessing to them, to the family, and they got their 6 siblings, and God can bless any of us, but he blesses us so that we can be a blessing. Will you help us today? I'm Jerome Jones, and I'm saying, if you go with God, I know that God will surely go with you. And until the next time, have yourself a Jesus-filled day. Bye-bye.